Another piece of news on this Monday, Jason Giambi released a statement via the New York Daily News announcing his retirement after a 20-year career. Played his first 7 years with the A's, winning the AL MVP in 2000, signed with the Yankees in 2002, then returned to Oakland briefly for a few years with the Rockies and the Indians, of course, to finish things off. A five-time All-Star, 440 career home runs, and 7 times he was north of 100 RBIs. Those of you youngsters out there, maybe the last 6 or 7 years, remember him as a part-time player, but those guys that shared a clubhouse with him once in a while, this guy was a big-time hitter.
He was. In 2001, he was by far and away the best hitter that I ever played with. And when people talk about Jason Giambi, I think, look, the numbers speak for himself. I think I'm going to think about him going back as the guy that when I walked in the Oakland A's clubhouse on August 22nd of 2000, and I went in there. This is at the time, Randy, when the long pants were really in, right? Yep. And you tucked them back over the shoe, and they actually they would put them over the last spike on the shoe. Yep. And all the A's guys wore their pants like that. Well, since Little League, since I got pants that were too short for me, I'd always worn my socks up. So here I was going to an Oakland A's team with all long white pants, and man, I wanted to wear the green socks up. So I go to Jason Giambi. I'm saying, hey, I know I'm new here, and yeah. I was just wondering, would it be okay if I wore my socks up? He goes, Bernsey, come on, man. This is the Oakland A's. You can do whatever the blank you want to do. And that's the atmosphere that he created there, and I think that legacy is still living on.
Yeah, he's a guy, I don't think he got enough credit early on. What a great hitter he was, as you said. We think of him more as the power hitter once he got to the Yankees, short porch and all that. Studied the game really well in terms of the craft of hitting. I think he'll make a great manager one day. My problem, though, is let's not forget about the steroids. He admitted that at least starting in 2001, he was on steroids. 2002, he goes to Bonds' trainer and says, hey, what are you doing for Barry? I need some help. I need some more help. So what kind of hitter was he? A great hitter. How legit was it? That question's out there for any fan to say, I really don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to talk about the legitimacy of his numbers. I'm going to talk about the impact that he had on the game. This is a guy, when he was in the lineup, that you were legitimately scared of. In the outfield, there's not a whole lot of guys that you're scared of. He was one of those guys. High average, high production, homers, RBIs, just a force to be reckoned with. And a personal story from me, I was a young hitter. I think I was playing in Seattle. I got kind of a weak base hit, a dribbler up the middle, and I'm frustrated. I'm upset. I want to hit every ball hard. And I get to first base, and I'm kind of, talking and mumbling under my breath and stuff. And G says, hey, nice hit. And I'm like, no, not really. And he says, hey, Randy, you need to focus on having great at-bats and not about your results. The results will come when you have great at-bats. Get good pitches to hit consistently. Swing at good pitches. The results will follow after that. And it really stuck with me as a young guy. For him to take time out and talk to me about that, I thought that was just great.
Very smart hitter.
Stories like that may make him a good manager one day if he decides to go that route.